welcome back to another episode of Rooted on What We Have TV, and my name is Princess. And yes, on today's episode, I bring to you an engaging and educative topic that, like I used to say, everyone should know about. But before we continue, kindly like, subscribe, and click on the notification button to our channel, and I'll be right back. Okay, welcome back, guys. And yes, on today's episode of Rooted, like I said earlier, I bring to you an educative topic tagged Role Model from the Bible. You know, the Bible has stood the test of time, and we can say it is the most important book in the whole world. You know, this book has sold more copies than any other book you can ever think of. And as we grew up, we tend to listen to amazing stories of God's faithful people from the Bible. You know, when we grew up, our parents tend to tell us stories about David, you know, killing Goliath. We even have songs from the stories. And you know, a lot of people, after they gave their life to Christ, they will decide to change their name and choose the name of certain people from the Bible. So the issue is, why do we choose those people? It is because these people are people that have stood the test of time. They are people that have already faced a lot of obstacles. They are people that have gone through a lot of tests, and they came out of it victoriously. So that is why we tend to imitate them. That is why we tend to use them as a role model, as someone we look up to. But there are some certain qualities that make a role model. You know, you can't just see someone because the person is a well-known celebrity, or because the person is rich or wealthy, then you felt that person is your role model. No, you have to first of all look at some certain qualities in this person before you can decide that truly that person is your role model. And number one thing you should look is the person's passion and ability to inspire. A role model will always have that quality. A role model would always be passionate about things and would always have the ability to inspire. Anywhere he is, wherever he is, he would always inspire someone. That is one quality a role model should have. And number two quality a role model should have is commitment to society. There is a saying that whatsoever your hand findeth doing, you should do it well. You know, a role model would always be committed to whatsoever he or she is doing, even if it is something little. You know, sometimes your role model does not need to be a wealthy person. Your role model could be anybody that possesses these characteristics. Someone that is committed to society can be regarded to as a role model. Committed to the things of God, committed to whatsoever he is doing, even at his place of work, even at the service he is rendering. That person is always committed to it. And number three quality of a role model, or someone you want to imitate as a role model, is that a role model must have a clear set of values. A role model must know where he's going to. He must know where he's coming from. He must have a purpose in life. He must have a targeted purpose. If he does not have purpose, please tell me, what do you want to check? What do you want to look up to? So a role model, anybody called a role model is someone that has a clear set of goals. He knows where he's going to. And the fourth quality of a role model, which I believe is the most important quality of a role model, is the ability to overcome obstacles. And that is where I'm going to today. These role models I want to talk about from the Bible are people that have the ability to overcome obstacles. Number one person is Abraham. I call Abraham the man of faith. Yeah, I believe we all know the story of Abraham. We grew up listening to this story, the story of Abraham and Sarah. Abraham was 100 years old and his wife is about 90 or 99 years old. And you know, these people have been looking for a way to conceive, a way to have a child for a very, very long time. Imagine the pain they must have been then. Imagine a lot of insult from family, from friends, you know, even for the wife. I'm sure she must have not been able to walk properly in the society, because she couldn't conceive. You know, they've been battling with this issue for a very long time. And wow, God decided to surprise them. We all know the story. God decided to give them a bouncing baby boy, Isaac. And you know what? I believe we all know it. God told him to kill Isaac, to use him as a sacrifice. If I hear that kind of instruction from God, it's not like I'll be disobedient about it, but I know I will say something like, "Flee from me, oh ye Satan," and it's the voice of God. Many of us would do like that, you know. But Abraham decided, and I wonder what is going on in his mind. You know, whenever I see that story or read through that story or hear that story, I'm always like, what is going through that man's mind? As in, which kind of liver he gets, because for him to be able to take his child, and you know, what about if God did not appear? during the process of he cutting Isaac's neck, will he still go ahead? Things like that. Though God is faithful, he's God. What can we do? He's God. So Abraham, if not for the fact that he is a man of faith, in fact, he doing that kind of act must be because he is a man of faith. He must have this strong faith in him. So that is why we should, whenever we imitate Abraham as our role model, we'll take him as our role model. I believe our faith, even if it is small as a mustard seed, it can move mountain. And the second person is Noah. Noah, I call him a man of endurance. Yeah, that man, they endure. Trust me. I'll tell you why I said so. We all know the story of Noah. When God was telling him to build an ark, that he wants to wipe out everyone, he told him to build an ark. I kind of browsed through what an ark looks like, and I think I'm seeing something like as big. Is it as big as a whale, or probably bigger than a whale? But I know if a carpenter wants to work on it, one carpenter cannot work on it. It has to be about, they will need about 12 carpenter, and it will take about, even with 12 person, it should take about 3-4 months, if I'm right. According to research, he built the ark for 55 years. Yes, with the help of his sons, 55 good years. If na me, man know they personalize them. Man know they talk say if na me. If na you know what you go do now. You know what you do. You can't just sit somewhere and be knocking through, eating nails through a particular wood because you want to build an ark. You want to listen to God's instruction. Now I'm not saying we should be disobedient to God, but it's the truth. This is reality. Why would I build an ark for 50 years? According to research, he built that ark for about 50 to 55 years. Isn't he a man of endurance? I think that's someone we can imitate. That is someone we can look up to. And the next person I'll be talking about is Mary. Yeah, you wonder, how can I use Mary as my role model? That woman is a very brave woman, and a woman that has a servant heart. You know what a servant heart is? Someone that can lead. A servant leader. That is who she is. Sorry, why do I include Mary as one of the role models? Is because, come to think of it, look at this instruction she had from God about giving birth to Jesus, and she conceiving even though she's a virgin, and telling her husband to be that she is going to give birth to a child even though she's not pregnant. The process of running the helter-skelter with Jesus in a manger, things like that. It shows she's a very, very brave woman. Only a brave woman can do that. And a woman with servant, I can't. Let me stop saying I can't. But seriously, I can't do it. I can't. I can't. Well, maybe I can do this. I don't know. But trust me, Mary is someone you should imitate. She has a very good act. And the next person I'll be talking about that we can also imitate is Ruth. Ruth demonstrates loyalty. Yes, she is very, very loyal to the core. Who does that? I know Yoruba people used to call her Ruth Abokoku. Trust me, it takes a woman that is loyal to actually do what Ruth did. Her husband died, her father-in-law died, her son, and she still decided to follow her mother-in-law, Naomi, to her homeland. It's not something I can do, but it is something a woman of loyalty, of great loyalty can do. So we should try as much as possible to imitate Ruth whenever we felt we are not being loyal, or we are not being loyal enough to people around us. We can read about her and pray about it, and before you know it, to summon up our courage, and then we become a person of loyalty. And the next person I would really love to talk about is Hannah. We all remember the story of Hannah. It took shame, pain, prayers, sacrifices, crying for her to finally give birth. It took her years in her marriage before she was a barren woman, and she still summoned courage. She's a woman of faith. She still kept on going to Shiloh every year to pray and praise God, all because she believed. I don't know where that belief came from, but she did it, and at the end of the day, God answered her prayer. That is someone we should be imitating as women, as men. We should imitate a woman of faith. And the next person I want to talk about is Daniel. Daniel is a man of devotion. He has a faith that is unwavering. He is so devoted to God and his services. He refuses to eat Nebuchadnezzar's food. so that it won't defile him. We all know that story. And from the whole story of Daniel, we can tell that he's truly a man of devotion. Someone that is so devoted to the things of God. As Christians, we should imitate someone like that. We should follow in his footsteps that, oh, what is this man doing? What does he do? Someone that prays every day, morning, afternoon, and night. And the second person I'll be talking about is David. David is a man after God's heart. Everybody knows this. Why do you think he's a man after God's heart? It is because he's passionate for justice. He loves sacrifice. He loves rendering sacrifice of praise to God. That is someone we should imitate. In fact, I love him very much. Though I'm not someone that have good voice and the likes, but there are many ways we can offer sacrifice of praises. It does not have to do with you singing. So I don't have a good voice, but I know how to offer sacrifices of praises to God. So David is someone we should always read his story. Though yes, he has some ashimashi coming, some things he actually did, but God actually forgave him because of his heart for justice. He's passionate for justice, and he loves God so much. And finally on my list, I have Job, the man of perseverance. Trust me, there's nobody who will persevere past this man. Imagine he being a wealthy man and losing his wife, his kids, everything. And even during the process, people are telling him to curse God. We all know that story. And still, he will still keep on rendering sacrifice of praises to God. People, I know if you do am, are not fit. I just can't do it. But that man is a man of perseverance. He's actually persevered. He went through that process. Don't forget, I told you that a role model is someone that has the ability to overcome obstacles. These characters I have mentioned so far are people that have overcome one obstacles or the other. Are people that are very passionate about what they are doing. They are committed to service. They are people that have the ability to accept others. They have the ability to inspire. They are very passionate. They have goals. They have targets. They know where they are going to. These are people we should be imitating. During the course of the week, we asked people questions on the streets about who their biblical character is and why they love that person. I would like you to listen to someone answer on that question, and we'll be right back. Bible character do you like, and why?
I love the Bible character of Esther. There are so many, but let me just say Esther.
Why?
Because despite that she was taken into captive into Babylon, she didn't allow her situation to bring her down. Rather, she rose up to the task of going. Despite that she's a slave, she still went ahead to the king's court for this princess and queen. This thing. For the contest. She didn't. Yes, for the contest. She didn't look at herself that, oh, I'm a slave or something. She didn't allow. Yes, she didn't look down on herself.
Which of the Bible characters do you like, and why?
Bible character.
Don't tell me Samuel, because
you know we mention Samuel. You know that.
all right.
I will mention Samuel because I love God, and secondly, I will say David.
David. Why do you like David?
I love to praise God. I love his character, the way he prays, the way he gives praise to God. Sure.
It's okay, thank you. Welcome back. That is that person's opinion about his own biblical character. We can also drop our own favorite character in the comment section and tell us why you love this character from the Bible. Alright guys, we finally come to the end of today's episode of Rooted, and I hope you enjoy. Please do not forget to like, subscribe, and click on the notification button to our channel. Till we meet again, stay safe.